Hey guys, what is up? It's Pepe here, and today I have a new type of video I'm testing out. It's a little something I like to call community deconstruction. Basically, what I do in these types of videos is investigate a community of people such as flat earthers, SJWs, etc. My goal in these types of videos is to go into detail into what these people believe and what they want to achieve, also what type of people they are and how they treat newcomers, and so on and so forth. Today's video is going to be about everyone's favorite group of insane people, the flat earth community. The flat earth community does not believe any one thing, except for the main idea that the earth is flat, but their beliefs stretch out into multiple parts, such as some of them believe the earth is a fishbowl, while some of them believe the universe is fake. It's pretty complicated and, to be honest, pretty stupid. The way these flat earthers get their beliefs are dumb, because it goes like this: the earth is flat, so therefore the International Space Station cannot exist, because it would disprove the earth being flat. And they keep using this way of getting ideas until it snowballs into some crazy belief that the mystical one world government is hiding the truth that the earth is one big turtle. The way that flat earthers quote unquote prove arguments is through nitpicking, bad math, and saying something is false without any evidence. For example, a flat earther sent me 8 PDFs which quote unquote prove that NASA was hiding the earth being flat. I literally took a quick look at the PDFs and realized that they were all NASA documents that were explaining and giving examples of a specific formula. So then I asked the flat earther to refer me to a line talking about this, and he showed me a sentence that said, in this paper, the rigid body equations of motion or a flat non-rotating earth are developed that are necessarily referenced to the body's center of mass. It literally took me a second to realize that the reason that they were talking about a fixed flat non-rotating earth is because it does not require you to take in all the exponents required to calculate for a realistic area on our planet. Keep in mind, this is a training manual, and you don't want to be introducing people to extremely hard math when they don't even have the basics down. If you would like to look at the PDFs, they're linked in the description. Also, another example of proof from the flat earth community is that NASA is lying to everyone because reasons. Flat earthers really never elaborate on why and how NASA is lying. When you try to figure out why they believe that NASA is lying, they say it's obvious, or do you really believe that, when it really isn't. And when you push the conversation forward on the topic, they bring up that either pictures are photoshopped or you're too brainwashed to see the truth, even though that the best proof for them of pictures sometimes being photoshopped is some guy on the internet with a shady video in 280p doing some weird things with a picture from NASA in paint.net. One thing that is extremely big in the flat earth community is that you need to do your own research, and I agree with that, but if you're doing it right. Flat earthers like to say that they did their own experiments, but when you ask him what they did, they say either I haven't seen a boat disappear over the horizon, or I've been proven countless times on the internet, which is obviously hypocritical. Flat earthers' experiments are extremely bad and take in little to no variables into account, such as I could see a really far mountain range that I'm not supposed to see from the normal calculations, but they don't take in the fact that you could see something that's far away if you're on something that's really tall. The flat earth community belief is the equivalent of looking at a car and coming to the conclusion that it's pulled by horses, because you have seen things with wheels being pulled by horses and mechanics are lying. They fail to take in the intricacies of what they're looking at and do not believe the experts who are trying to help them. They come to a basically untrue conclusion. Flat earthers are generally people who don't have an association with the field of space or mathematics. They're people whose jobs and schooling revolves around different professions, so it's very hard to take their argument seriously when they haven't been through the schooling that would unequivocally prove the world is round to them and would allow them to understand the formulas they use. This is why people who actually work in this field and actually understand the math don't believe the earth is flat, because they know the truth. Flat earthers personalities vary a lot, but the mass majority of them genuinely believe the earth is flat and speak condescendingly to people who don't. Some of them are cocky assholes, and others are nice, genuine people like some of the ones I met. And these specific type of people are willing to not fully believe the earth is flat and actually try to figure out the truth instead of buying into a dumb belief. Flat earthers as a community, at least the ones I've observed, like to spend their times in safe spaces like discords, where if you try to debate them, they will most likely ban you very quick, because most of these people like to believe that they are open-minded, but they sit and agree with themselves, which speaks a lot about a community. In rare cases, these flat earthers venture out to different places where they usually get into arguments where they most likely lose, but because they need the world to be flat, they will just shrug off the facts they were given and usually stretch out another argument around it. One quote that really describes what flat earthers really need to do when they take arguments into account is by Aristotle, where he says, "It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it," because flat earthers literally accept almost every single idea that is not the norm without looking into it. It perfectly describes what they need to do. In this section of the video, I'm going to show you some of the most used YouTube videos in arguments by flat earthers. The way I got these videos is that they were sent to me to be used as proof for the flat earthers. So we're going to watch them and basically deconstruct them.
I'm Daryl, and I'm a realist, also known as a flat earther. One thing that we deal with as being flat earthers is the scientific community. We'll post pictures, memes, we'll post videos, we'll post facts, figures, different experiments that have been conducted in the past, but not so much recently. And that often results in people saying that we're discredited because we don't have any scientific backing for what we believe, although there's tons of evidence.
There you go, guys, the tons of evidence argument without, giving any. But then he continues on to talk about a new experiment.
We're living on a spinning ball, or a globe, that's 25,000 miles in circumference around the equator. According to curvature math, then the plane should be constantly dipping its nose forward in order to compensate for the curvature regularly during flights. But I don't know anybody who's actually reported that happening.
So the reason that the plane dips because it's getting pulled down to the earth by gravity, so therefore it doesn't artificially have to change its motion to go against it, because gravity is pulling it down. And that's why when you look at the level, when he later shows it, it shows flat, not only because the plane is flat, but because gravity is pulling it down to the earth while it's going in a circle. And it's kind of obvious if you think the earth is flat just because from this experiment, it's the equivalent of looking at a car and because you turned it on, it's pulled by horses.
And thus far it's just been speculation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my spirit level onto the plane and prop it to a point to where it's level, and I'm going to record the fact that the bubble stays perfectly centered. And while that bubble staying perfectly centered, it's going to be rather anticlimactic, but that's proof that the earth is flat.
See, like these type of videos kind of actually prove my point of flat earther videos and experiments being really dumb, because this dude thinks that it's an accurate experiment taking a level on a plane, and it literally makes no sense because he doesn't take in account for the gravity and everything. He doesn't take in account variables, and that's kind of the whole thing about the flat earth community. They don't believe it. They don't believe anything. They don't care about the facts. They only care about what they see is the real truth. Anything else that takes a little bit of effort to actually look into, boom, false. That's kind of the whole thing with the flat earth community, and this video kind of encapsulates it. Oh god, this video. I've literally been sent it by literally any and almost every flat earther I've talked to, or video similar like it. And it's just so stupid. Like, they don't take into account the refraction of the light, and also it does kind of prove curvature because you kind of see the buoy going under the curve, right? Just a little bit. So, first of all, they're taking it at a beach, right? And it looks to be extremely humid, and because it is humid, and you could even tell how humid it is because of how how you could see like heat curves, I guess, on the screen if you look in if you just keep looking at it. But because of light refraction, you know, because of this stuff, you can actually see a little bit more of it. But if you actually go to when they're showing it, you could see it going you can't see the complete bottom of it. And the reason that is because of a slight curve, and you could kind of, you know, make it out. If the world was to be flat, in this video, you would be able to see, if you're theoretically going to be able to zoom in all the way, you would be theoretically able to see the edge of the world. So this video not only disproves the flat earth community, but makes them kind of look dumb. This is the section of the video where I interview a person from the community and ask them questions about the community. I was able to get a really nice guy that also is a flat earther to actually talk to me. This man is part of the respectful, nice minority of people in the flat earth community, and I really respect him for answering. Keep in mind, I didn't really have any questions that went too deep, and I just asked the very basics. Also, please be respectful because it takes some courage to actually talk about something that a lot of people disagree with. So here it is. Alright, so free-minded, I have a couple questions for you. So first off, do I have your consent to record you?
Yes.
And are you a flat earther?
Yes, I believe the earth is flat.
Okay, so first off, how did you become a flat earther?
Through research and through my own personal experiments.
Okay, interesting. And what would you say is your strongest evidence for the flat earth?
My strongest evidence is, simply put, we can see further than we're supposed to be allowed to. If the earth was a ball at 24,901 miles in circumference, there would be things in the distance that should be blocked by curvature, and this curvature seems not to be evident.
Okay.
We can see further than what mathematically we're possibly able to see. We're not supposed to be able to see things past the curvature, but we do.
Okay, and why do you think, if the world is flat, why do you believe that government agencies and whatnot is hiding it from us?
I don't know. I mean, there's a million different things you come up with to answer that question. But as for right now, I don't know. I don't even have a thought about that.
Okay.
You know.
So how do you feel about NASA, SpaceX, whatnot?
I think they're lying about everything pretty much. I think all the pictures and photos are deceiving at the very least. You can put any of those photos through things like Photoshop and different apps, and it will show that they're all fake, and you know, they're just they're not real.
Okay.
A lot of them, they come out and admit that they're not real, so you know, I'll take their word for it.
All right. So what I wanted to ask is, the final question is, how do people treat you, like when you're out in public and someone finds out that you're a flat earther?
Well, my friends and family, they treat me no differently. They know what kind of person I am, and I get them to think about what I'm saying and kind of question what they've been taught. So I don't have it's not really any huge backlash that I get from people.
Okay, man, thank you so much for doing this. Again, So this is the in my perspective, and this is where I try to talk to you guys on my level. So in my view, the flat earth community doesn't really make sense to me, and from all the stuff that I've seen from the flat earth community, from the videos to the quote-unquote proof and all the stuff that I've seen from the flat earth community, it really seems to me that it's more grasping at straws and, you know, trying to find a purpose and making it really need to be the flat earth and really need it to be flat earth than it is actually seeking the truth. Now, there's a lot of people in the flat earther community, like the person I interviewed, that are really into seeking the truth and just like to seek out stuff and like to do math. And it's interesting to, you know, talk to these people because they believe weird stuff, and I recommend you guys get out there, join some flat earth discords and talk to them because it's interesting. Now, the reason I don't believe the earth is flat is really simple. It's because the way I'm posting this video and the way I'm watching TV and the way I literally go on the internet is because of satellites and transmissions through internet. And because of this, we have the internet and TV broadcasts and whatever. If it was not for satellites being up there, we would not be able to do this stuff. And, you know, satellites being up there, some people would think that, you know, different companies actually have their satellites up there. There's thousands of satellites up in space, so there could be transmission of, you know, TV broadcasts or whatnot. But if there was literally at least one satellite in space, just literally, do you think that one person would not be able to strap a camera to it and then look down and see that the earth was flat? Like, that's so obvious to me. But that's not really obvious to people because, you know, most flat earthers don't really believe that we've been to space. They believe that literally rockets are fake and are just light shows. And I just think it's just kind of, again, grasping at straws. But that's my perspective. Let me know what you guys think. The flat earth community harbors some of the craziest people I have ever seen, but it also harbors some of the most hardcore researchers I have ever seen. Like, come on, it takes a lot of work to find a NASA PDF with the word flat on it. No, but really, the flat earth community is extremely misguided. I feel that for some of them, it's less of them really believing in the earth being flat, and it's more of them distrusting their government for one reason or another, and because of this, they get to this little leap. But most flat earthers are going to walk away from any and all proof of the earth being round because it's a religion at this point. Flat earthers need the world to be flat, and it's ridiculous. They need to wake up. What do you guys think? I put a lot of hard work into this video, and I would appreciate a like and a sub if you want more. And I also really want to hear what you guys think, and I want to know if I got something wrong or you guys got some more info for me. Have a great day, and tip of the top hat to you.